welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a full face of Flower Beauty. If you're not familiar with the brand, it's Drew Barrymore's brand. You can buy it in Ulta, you can buy it at Walmart. So yeah, I pretty much have a full face of products to try out, some brand new stuff. Flower Beauty's been around for a little bit, and I know a lot of these products have been around for a little bit, and I just have never really tried them. I've had a few of them for a few months to try now and just haven't gotten around to it. I was in Ulta and I saw like some of the new products they've come out with, which there's quite a few things. They're in this like poppy kind of packaging, and I'm excited to try some of this out. And then this really pretty eyeshadow palette. I think they have 3 different colors, but I really like this one. And just to make this video go by so much quicker, and so I can actually like really focus on the products and not be like looking at my phone the whole time and trying to find this and that, I'm going to leave links to every product I use down in the description bar, and you can just, you know, find the product down there and click on the link and see how much it costs and how many different colors it comes in. So to start with, I'm going to use the Flower Perfecting Primer, and it says it's just like a moisturizing, smoothing, softening kind of primer. I actually thought this primer was going to feel more like silicone-y and like slippy, but it doesn't. It actually feels hydrating. For foundation, I'm going in with the Light Illusion foundation, and it says it is a luminous makeup nude skin feel all day wear foundation. And I don't really know like what the coverage is supposed to be, so, and it has a pump, which I love that. And I also have a beauty sponge. I've actually had this for a while and just haven't ever opened it, so I'm excited to try it out. It's a really pretty color. It actually feels like really soft even before you wet it. This is actually probably one of the squishiest, like softest sponges I've ever felt, which I don't know yet if that's gonna be a good or a bad thing, but we will see. I'm gonna go ahead and start with doing one side with a sponge and then do the other side of my face with a brush. And I have no idea if this color is gonna match me at all. It is in the shade Porcelain 1. Alright, so the first layer really just kind of evened out my skin tone. I did just quickly kind of look it up, and it says it's supposed to be a buildable coverage, so I am going to continue to try to build on that. I'm going to take my Morphe M439 brush and start applying it on the other side. It's not a bad color for me at all. Oh, okay. I feel like the brush did a better job covering things, but to be totally honest, I think both of them look pretty nice. It's just this cheek had less to cover than this one. I don't know why my skin does that, but I always have like one cheek that's worse than the other. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish my face like I normally would, which is where I take a brush and do my whole face, and then I go over it with a sponge. That's always just my favorite look. And this is the second layer because I want to see if it's buildable. This is actually a really pretty foundation. It's been a long time since I've worn like a luminous foundation. I feel like for the most part, I've been like really attracted to like natural, like satin finish foundations. So yeah, it's been so long since I've had a luminous foundation on my skin, and I forgot how pretty they look. So I built this up to about a medium coverage foundation. I think it's really pretty. I'm happy with where it's at right now. So I'm just gonna go back over it with the sponge and just kind of really press everything in, which you can still see some of my imperfections coming through, but I would rather go in and spot conceal than keep packing a foundation on. But I think this foundation is really pretty. It just looks so nice on the skin. The next product is the Light Illusion Full Coverage Concealer, and mine is in the shade Fair. So this was their lightest shade, and I don't feel like it's that light. So I actually like to go in with concealers that are, you know, these almost the same shade as me initially, because I feel like you get the best coverage that way, and then go back in with a concealer that's lighter. So this concealer actually has really good coverage, and it blends out super easy. But my skin does look really smooth, especially like right in here. But yeah, so far I like the primer, foundation, and concealer combination. I have two powders. I have the Miracle Glow Satin Finish Powder and the Flower Light Illusion Perfecting Powder. So this is the powder that goes with it. It says it is buildable coverage with blurring pigments. It says it's a soft focus blurring powder with a nude skin feel. The silky lightweight formula smooths, evens, and reduces shine with a natural luminous finish. So I'm actually going to use both powders. Lately I've been setting my under eyes with a loose powder and my face with a pressed powder. So I'm going to continue to do that just so I can try out both powders. And like I said, I've tried out the matte version of this powder. So, and I do remember liking it, but it's been years. This is what it looks like, and the lid just comes off. And I will say it's unnecessarily large packaging. As you can see in the cap, it does have a tint to it. So I'm just going to go in and pat out any creases in my concealer. I'm going to use a brush just because it makes it a finer like dusting and set underneath my eyes. So the more powder you kind of pack on and then wipe off, the brighter it looks. Like, I'm not baking with it. I'm picking up like a noticeable amount and then patting it underneath my eyes. But I think it may look really good and smooth. Now I'm going to go in with the pressed powder. I'm just going to take a really big powder brush and pat that in. I actually made my skin look really smooth in a lot of spots. And I wouldn't say that it looks like luminous still. Like, the foundation was definitely luminous and like dewy and glowy, but it just looks healthy, which is more what I want from a powder. So I just realized I never applied this like cheek product, which I'm pretty sure it's like a cream blush. So I'm trying to decide if I want to just risk it and put it over the powder. But it's a really interesting packaging. I don't know if you guys can see the like tube, but and it just kind of comes out the top. Alright, so the face makeup looks so good. I'm a little worried to use this blush, but I'm gonna squirt a little bit on the back of my hand. I really like the tube of this, and this is what the color looks like, so. So it is a pretty color, and I mean, I seriously use the tiniest amount of it. So I just realized there's no contour or bronzer. I'm not sure if the brand makes a contour bronzer. I didn't see any. And if there was one, I just kind of missed it. So I'm just going to go in with my normal bronzer and contour, and I'll be right back. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with my blush, which is the Flower Pots Powder Blush. And it says it is a soft satin finish, easy to blend with buildable color, and it is in the shade Peach Primrose. I sit down to edit this. Half of this footage is just going to be me opening packages. Alright, so I just put some on my brush. It's weird. I never used to use blush, and now I love it. Like, I don't skip it. Like, I would almost rather skip bronzer if I have to be like really quickly out of the door than to skip blush. I feel like it adds so much shape to the face. So it's a really pretty blush. I think it's such a pretty color. They actually have a 3-pan like highlighter palette that has really good reviews, and I actually thought I owned it. I thought I bought it previously and I didn't, but luckily I do have this eyeshadow palette from them. This is the eyeshadow palette I'm using today, but it was one I picked up a long time ago and just never used. So I'm gonna take this shade right here and highlight with it. So that's actually much more intense than I thought it was gonna be. And I did wet the brush just because I didn't want it to be like super powdery and go everywhere. But yeah, that's actually really pretty. So I remembered when I was at the store that I did have a brow product from Flower Beauty. And I honestly don't know what I was thinking. I wish I kind of picked up something else because I have this Tattoo Effect brow stain. And then when they say stain, they mean like it's gonna last all day. But it's in the shade Espresso, and that looks really dark. So I'm going to swatch this, and if it looks totally off, I'm just going to use something different. Yeah, it's making my eyebrows really warm, so I'm just gonna do a little bit in this brow to even out the color. And then I'm gonna finish up my brows with something else. I could actually see if this was the right like color, this being like a really nice product. It has a nice like applicator with a nice little point and slant to it, but I just had the wrong color. Honestly don't know what I was thinking when I picked up that color. All right, so we have some brows on, and now we're gonna go ahead and start on the eyes. I have quite a few things for the eyes. I have mascara, I have this brush from them to try out, I have this eyeshadow palette, I have this like pigment, and I have this like glitter shadows. I'm gonna do something pretty simple and pretty quick because I am about to leave. I'm supposed to be leaving in like 10 minutes, which I don't think is going to happen. But I am gonna try to use as many of the products as I can. And you do get a brush in this palette, which feels like a pretty nice brush. It feels like the same quality as their normal eyeshadow brush, just with a shorter handle. So I'm gonna start by taking this shade over here and just working that into the crease. So now I'm gonna go in with this shade, this like brown kind of terracotta color, and start working that into my crease. So I'm actually going to change brushes just because I don't think that one's bad. Like I could, you know, I definitely think you could do your eyes with it. It's just small, so it's taking much longer to blend everything out. I'm gonna take this orangey, this like burnt orange color, and I'm gonna work that slightly lower into the crease and more on the outer edge. And I'm not getting any fallout from any of these shades, and there's really not a ton of like powder kickback when I dip my brush in them. I'm gonna mix into the yellow shade and that first shade we used and just kind of blend it over everything to smooth everything out. So the yellow in the palette does have a little bit of kickback and fallout if you don't tap your brush off, but if you tap your brush off, you should be fine. So I'm just gonna be using the mattes from that palette, and I'm gonna take this Warrior shade glitter little thing because it looks pretty like sheer, like it's a light wash of colors, definitely not as like full coverage as these Stila glitters. So I'm just going to put that all over my lid. That's actually really pretty. It's really soft, but like soft in a good way. Like sometimes you don't always want that like really thick glitter. So now I'm gonna go back into that palette and just mix that burnt orange and that brown together and just kind of deepen up the edge a little bit more. I'm gonna take this Pop Fanatic eye pigment. It says it's a saturated color and crease proof. I would love to use this one day to cut my crease to prove that, but for now I'm just going to use it as an eyeliner because it says on the box you can use it in your waterline. So it's creamy and really pigmented, so that's promising. And I'm just gonna take that and use it in my lower lash line. I'm gonna take those same shades that I used on the upper lash line and just connect them all on the lower lash line. Mascara, I have this Lash Warrior mascara, and it is in the shade Fiercest Black. So I'm really gonna curl my lashes, and then I'm gonna add mascara to the upper and lower lash line. So the brush has this like curve to it. I don't know if you can see that. This mascara really separates your lashes and makes them just like really flutter out, which I'm so happy about because I didn't have time to put on false lashes. Now I have a lot of lip products. So I have a lip liner, I have a nude lip liner, and I only have the one. And then I have this holographic lip gloss, and then the Pop Fanatic Vinyl Lip. And this is in the shade Kapow. And this is the Petal Pout lip color in the shade Peachy Nude, and the Miracle Matte Lip in the shade Bare Honey. So I'm gonna quickly just swatch all of this on the back of my hand. So this is the matte lip, this is the bullet lipstick, this is the vinyl, this is the lip liner, and this is the lip gloss. So I'm gonna go with the matte liquid lipstick because I think that's gonna look the best with the liner and the holographic lip gloss. Last thing is this Seal the Deal Long Lasting Setting Spray. So I'm gonna go ahead and like spritz it in the ear first so I don't like spray my face. So it's actually a really like fine mist. Okay, well this is the completed look. I have to say I pretty much liked everything that I tried. There's nothing I disliked. I really like the color of this nude lip I'm wearing right now. The thing I was most impressed with is probably all the face products, the primer, the foundation, the concealer, both the powders and the setting spray. And I'm gonna try this eye pigment out to like cut my crease, and if that works out I definitely want to pick up the other shades because they have I think a few other shades. And I really like the glitter topper. On camera you can't really see the glitter as well, but in person you can see little flecks of glitter on my eyes. On camera that kind of just looks like a shimmery eyeshadow. I have zero complaints about anything I tried. Alright, well I gotta get out of the door because I am 30 minutes late now. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please give a thumbs up and make sure you hit the subscribe button down below so you don't miss any of my other future uploads, and I will talk to you soon.